Welcome to this quick tutorial on Canadian raising, just to make sure you get understanding of this concept for the midterm. So Canadian raising, what is this all about? It's obviously something we Canadians do as opposed to the Americans, and it's called raising because we raise our jaw up. We don't drop our jaw quite as low as the Americans, and we find this happening in a word like lighthouse. So just so you understand what this phenomenon sounds like, for a Canadian, we use these two mid-central diphthongs, I and ow, so lighthouse. Whereas an American will drop their jaw all the way down to this low region and say lighthouse, lighthouse, versus lighthouse, where we raise up into the mid region on the chart here. So we don't always do Canadian raising, so it's restricted to certain circumstances, and there's certain environments for Canadian raising, and that is based on the sound that comes immediately after that central diphthong. And if you have a voiceless consonant immediately after that diphthong, that's when we do Canadian raising. So what do we mean by a voiceless consonant? Well, the voiceless obstruents. So we have pataka and the glottal stop, vathasa, sh and cha. Any of those voiceless obstruents will drive Canadian raising if it surfaces immediately after the low central diphthong. So the t in light and the s in house are what trigger Canadian raising in lighthouse. Now this effect of the voicelessness of the consonant onto the vowel only occurs if the consonant and the vowel are in the same part of the word together. So if you have a voiceless sound that comes next, but it's in the next word or in the next word chunk, then we don't do Canadian raising. So here are a couple of examples to show the contrast. Ice cream, yes, we do Canadian raising on ice cream because the sound, the voiceless, is part of the word ice, and that drives the raising of the vowel in there. In the sentence I scream, on the other hand, I is a separate word, and the S, even though it's following the I, it's in a totally different word, and so that is not going to drive Canadian raising. So I scream for ice cream. We drop our jaw to the low region, which is the normal situation for those diphthongs. I scream for ice cream, and we raise our jaw up on ice. We just do Canadian raising on ice. So to make sure you don't miss Canadian raising, what you need to do is practice. And whenever you find yourself transcribing any of those two low central diphthongs, I and ow, just wait and see what you should do. So stop and assess the situation, look to see what kind of sound comes immediately after it. And if you happen to transcribe a voiceless consonant immediately after it, then you go ahead and change the first part of the diphthong from the A to the wedge to create this Canadian raising. There is a practice exercise on Blackboard and lots of other practice opportunities in your study guide and practice exam and things like that. So the best way to prepare is to do lots and lots of practice. Good luck.